Yes, hello, everybody. It's MicheleMarieDalene, and of course today is the 28th, I believe. And I made a mistake last night with the live stream because I forgot to change the date in last night's video to reflect the correct date. So if you wonder why it still said the 26th, now you know why. I forgot to update it. The one I used was the fancy one that has some there's a lot of nice features. Unfortunately, it doesn't change the date in the video, unlike the 8-gram does, which does change the dates as needed when you have the option to change the dates. So, Taco Man actually says, can you count 1 to 10 so I can learn to read numbers? I'm not exactly sure what that means, but let me try to explain one thing to you about number bases and what numbers really are. Numbers are symbols, just like letters are, okay? To help us to describe what we see or understand or perceive. For example, in hexadecimal, for example, we know the space is a 20, and the letter A is 32 plus 16 is like 221 or something in hexadecimal. In base 10, in ASCII, the number of the letter A is 64 is the ampersand, which is a higher priority than the capital letter A. And if you want to know what the lowercase a, it's 96. You can tell by adding 64, 97 I think it is. As, okay, let's not get too crazy with this. So to learn to read numbers in computers usually means that we need to know 3 bases that are commonly used. Decimal, hexadecimal, and binary. Binary is, you sometimes use that in switch states. For example, if I have 8 dip switches on the board and I need to know what the value is that's going to go to the switch for decoding matrix. Okay, each on state is a 1, each off state is a 0. Okay, but well, for something simple like 4 bits and 8 bits, hex isn't so, decimal or binary isn't so bad. When you start getting into things like 32 switch states, 64 switch states, 128 switch states, the numbers can get extremely unwieldy really fast. Even to count to 1 to 255 in binary gets extremely long, even though it's still going to use 8 positions from 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, where my finger's holding the phone up would be 8, 1, okay, all the way to 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, so that's why we have hexadecimal. Hexadecimal simply breaks it down to blocks of 2 characters. So if I can say, so based on units of 16, because there's hexadecimal 16, right? So, but wait, how come the letters go from 1 or from 0 to F, and then it rolls over to 1, 0? Well, because technically any number base, in this case binary says 2, means really the highest value it can be is 1, okay? And if it's hex, it means the highest value it can be is 15, and that's 16. Well, if you include the 0, that's 16, okay? Because anything, so 0 minus the 1 from the base of the number. So if you take, in this case, 16, subtract 20, get 15, because you're going to go from 0 to 15. As I said, numbers are symbols. So technically, if you want to be able to learn to read numbers, you need to know what those numbers would refer to. For example, if I said to somebody the number 5 in Roman numerals, that's the V, and I say I have 5 sheep, okay, or V sheep, okay, in Roman numerals, or I could say I have 011 sheep. Actually, that's not quite right. 101 sheep. In binary. Doesn't mean I have 1,001 sheep. It means I have 101 sheep. Okay? Or I can say I have 5 in hexadecimal, which is pretty simple because it's within the base number. Or if I would say I had 20 sheep, I could say I have, in binary, it gets a little more fun because it'll be something like 1, 0, 1, 0. Okay? If I said that in hex, I'd be saying I have 2 and let's see, I'm trying to do 6 yet. Well, I'd have to say I have 24, which makes me like, excuse me? Well, actually that's not quite right. It's 14. I'd have to say I have 14, but I'm really saying I only have 5, or I'm saying I have 20. Okay, and if I said it in Roman numerals, then things get really fun, because I get confused with the Roman numeral system. I think it's XX for 20. Okay, so you get what I'm saying here. In other words, to read numbers, you need to know what you're reading, what the numbers are representing. Every number, every system has different meanings. Okay. Really kind of fun to think about if you're in the numbers. I'm not really heavily into mathematical symbols and numbers, but there's a movie called Numbers, and there's also the book of the Bible called Numbers. So I guess if you want to learn more about numbers, you need to watch movies and books on numerology, which is another use of numbers. Really, numerology has a lot to do with numbers. It comes from the I Ching, which is another system of spiritual numbering things used in Chinese mythology. So, I hope that helps you to understand. And if you're confused, you're not alone. So am I. But that is actually how it works. So, you can just take your numbers to the bank, after all. By the way, where did the standard numbers 0 to 10 come from? It came from Arabia. The Arabics came up with those numbers. That's why we call them Arabics. 0 to 9, actually. By the way, the 0 is actually relatively a new thing. Ask the people who have had to do mathematics in Roman numerals. There was no 0. 0 did not actually exist. 0 is a placeholder. It's a big difference from the null. It's the 0 with the slash to it. That has a completely different use. If I say I have the set of 0 items, I could say I have the set of null items, right? Yes. But if I say I have null crayons, that doesn't make no sense, right? Because that means my set of crayons is empty set. It has no values. You're gonna get into set theory, but the whole thing is by the time you're doing all the math, it'll give you nosebleeds. Trust me, it gets really complicated. But if you want, go talk to a New World mathematician. He can help you to understand set theory and stuff like that. I just remember some of it from 5th and 6th grade. I don't remember everything, but I certainly do remember intersects and Venn diagrams and some of that stuff. But when I got into college and stuff, we didn't talk too much about set theory anymore. But really interesting. All right, guys, look, I gotta go get some seconds. I just wanted to share this with you and give Taco Man something to chew on with this taco. I suppose that's what you call yourself, Taco Man, because you like tacos. So, might add a little spice to your taco. Okay? Have a nice day, guys. Bye-bye.